All right, everybody, welcome to the What's Next podcast, where we sit down with real estate agents, entrepreneurs, and business professionals to talk about tech, strategy, and, well, everything interesting, really. I'm your host, Max Bergstrom. This is What's Next. Let's go. We sit down with real estate agents and talk about how the industry is changing, thriving with technology. We look at strategy. We love it. Welcome to What's Next podcast. All right, everybody, feeling good on a Thursday. It is my pleasure to be here on the show with Mr. Ivan Cazarez. He's a top producing real estate agent who's been serving the needs of buyers and sellers in San Diego County since 2012, and his passion is finding the right property and matching it with the right person. And now he's on What's Next. Ivan, how you doing, brother?
Hey, man. How you doing, Max? Thanks for the intro, brother. Appreciate you.
No problem. How did I do?
Hey, dude, that was fire, dude. I love the music coming in, dude. The hype, you know? I'm like, dude, I got to figure out how to do that on my podcast. That was rad. So.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, I've been told I have the announcer voice thing down, so I figure I might as well just, you know, play it up as much as possible.
100%.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, thanks for coming down here. How was the drive from North County?
Oh, it was easy, man. It was 30 minutes. Got to catch up on some calls.
Yeah, and with that truck, you could drive over traffic.
Drove over a couple other people over, so it was cool, you know.
Yeah, I always wanted to. You remember Inspector Gadget?
Yeah.
Remember that show where like the stilts would come up and you could just drive over?
Yeah.
Oh man,
that would be rad.
Yeah, like technology. We need to get there, right?
I think I saw something like that actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think they were actually doing a thing. Was it Tesla or somebody that was doing something
Probably.
like that?
That sounds accurate.
Yeah.
It would be Tesla too.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Elon, he would be all like, you see, I've got the new model and it's got stilts on the wheels, and you just like, I love listening to that. He's always so calm.
I know.
Elon Musk, always just so calm, you know?
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, look, man, you know, we like to talk a little real estate, we like to talk a little tech, strategy, all that kind of stuff. But first of all, like, you know, just how did you get in that chair? I mean, I know you came down here from North County, but you know, you've been doing the real estate thing for a while. You grew up in Escondido.
Yep.
What did you want to do with your life? Did you always want to be a real estate agent, or did you want to be an astronaut, or, you know? Right.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I don't think, I think when I was a kid, I wanted to be a lawyer, and only because I saw, was it Liar Liar with Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that sounds like a rad job. You know, you get to dress up and like.
Dude, that was your inspiration to want to be a lawyer?
It's so random, right? And then I think it was so funny because growing up, all my teachers were like, dude, you're great at arguing, you know, like, and I'd always try to prove my point. You know, I was like a negotiator. So I've always been a negotiator since day one.
Okay.
And so in my head, I'm like, well, I guess I'll be if people are telling me I'm a good negotiator, I'm going to be a lawyer. And but knowing nothing what a lawyer really meant, right?
Right.
And when you're a kid, you saw Liar and Liar, and you're like, oh, I guess I have to lie. I don't know if I want to do that, but whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so, I think I came into real estate more of a necessity. I just started dating my wife, Valerie, and I was like, all right, I got to get serious about this. I got to figure out what I'm going to do to make some income. Mm-hmm. And I used to actually I think we were chatting a little bit before we started. I've been an artist. So naturally, man, I love art. Like, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a famous artist.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, I want to be like this Renaissance painter. You know, I wanted to be like this. I was a kid, and I was kind of, I guess you could say, like a weird kid, man. I'd go to the library, check out books, and like look at like Monet and Leonardo da Vinci.
How old were at this point?
Like, dude, I was probably like 5 or 6, and like I would just like check out books in the library,
and
because I wanted to like master my art technique. Like, that's what I would do. I'd just draw all day.
So one kid's like, hey, did you see the new G.I. Joe? And you're like, nah, dog, I'm looking at The Starry Night by Vincent Van Gogh.
Dude,
right
100%.
now.
You know, it was weird. And that's what I wanted to do. And then, so yeah, kind of growing up, that's what I wanted to be a famous artist. And so I actually kind of got into art as a little kid, always been drawing. And then as I grew up, I actually got into graffiti.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I got into graffiti. Graffiti was pretty fun. And it was interesting how I got into graffiti. I got into graffiti because my parents bought a house, and on that side of town, let's just say it wasn't the best side of town. So either you were a gangster or you were a tagger. And I'm like, dude, I'm neither. Like, I'm just a kid who likes to skateboard. And so I was like, well, I guess I'll tag for you guys because I love art. And so I really just did it for art.
So where did you do it?
Oh, dude,
under bridges?
Yeah, under bridges, on top of buildings.
So you were legit going around like, I got my cans with me. I'm going to make this. Now, does the time team do a little like, you sell a house and you tag like the?
No, dude,
I'm just
totally for sure. Now, the funny part is like if you look in my office, like I doodle all day long. I'm always doodling. I'm always drawing. Like I love drawing.
Yeah, well, I can tell by the smile on your face right now. You're passionate about that. I also saw a really cool video about you that you've got on your website. This guy is a great marketer, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And the video was great because it told me pretty like pillar things about you right away, which I love that because as a marketer, I'm like, okay, well, like this guy, he's going to come on the show. I have 5 things now that I can talk to him about. But I also feel like, okay, I know even when you rolled up in your truck, I was like, oh yeah, he's a painter. He's a craft beer enthusiast. We'll talk about that a little bit too. But that was really cool. But the art thing, I'm definitely a kindred spirit in that. I'm a musician. I'm a songwriter. So when I was like that, I was an art kid too, but it was like poetry and stuff like that. And I was really into writing.
Okay.
Now I can do a good stick figure. That's about it. But I have no like visual skills, but I can write. But same type of thing. Like I was kind of a little bit fringe. Kind of the stuff I like to do was not quite in the same boat as the rest of the kids my age. But it's good to have passion and something like that. I mean you got what makes you income, and like for me, like. You'll always be an artist. You'll never let go of that.
Totally.
And who knows, man? Like, so do you you have canvases out and do you just dedicate time to that? Or
I don't, man. I wish I did. I got 2 kids and we were kind of chatting about that a little bit. Yeah. Like, I don't have time to do art right now, and so my art has kind of changed. And it's funny that you say that because I feel like everybody is an artist, right? Like you write music and so you're an artist. And I feel like, Tony, he's an artist. His craft is video and editing. And so I feel like everybody is an artist. It's just a matter of, are you a chef? Are you a cook? Do you do pottery? Do you write music? Do you do art? Because I remember growing up, people would be like, oh man, you're so good at art, but like, I'm not an artist. I'm like, no, you are an
Everybody
artist.
is. Yeah. I love that.
Like you are an artist. You just got to figure out like what type of art you like.
Yeah. That's a cool way to put it.
Yeah.
Everybody's a salesman too.
Oh, interesting. I never really thought about that.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you're gonna ask a lady out or whatever, you're gonna have to sell yourself on something. At least with most ladies probably. But I think that like anything you want to do in your life, you're gonna have to present yourself. You're gonna have to make a case for why you're the right person.
Yeah.
And so like in some aspect, I mean, we're kind of always selling.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. Never really thought about that, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I kind of stole it from Grant Cardone. I'm not gonna lie, but I heard him say it, and then I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, you know what? I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, that does.
But that's good. So 2 kids.
Yeah, 2 kids, man.
So tell me about the kids.
Yeah, man. His name's Lincoln and Luke, and so I got 2 little boys. I got super lucky. And, dude, I love it, man. I think what's cool about having kids is just that it changes you, right? And so I think people say that all the time, but it's like your priorities change. I think 100%. For me, it was like I always just hustle. I wanted to be the best real estate agent and so forth. But now it's like still want to do that, but now I want to be like my priorities, like be number 1 dad, be there and make sure they're doing good and be there for their lives and help them and encourage them and help them reach their goals, right? And so dude, it's rad. Like it's the highlight of my day, coming home and hanging out with the little guys,
Yeah. So then let me ask you, because the most powerful emotional experience I've ever had was when the nurse handed me my daughter.
Oh, dude, I got a funny story for you.
So yeah, I want to hear about your experience with this, because mine was insane.
Dude, my wife's gonna kill me, but I'll tell you anyways. So, it's a true story, guys. So my wife, dude, I love my wife. She's awesome. Like, she's a very
Valerie is her name.
Valerie, yeah, dude, good memory. She's got a, she's very like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like holistic approach. She's like, she eats good. Like she like keeps me in check and like eating and like, you know what I mean? And so she's a great woman and great cook. And so anyways, she wanted to have a home birth. And so we're at her house and it's our first child and we're like trying to push this baby out, for 36 hours. And so finally like, dude, I'm tired, man. We're at the house. Like I'm over there trying to root for her, like, come on, you got it. And so finally we go to the hospital and they actually had to do a C-section. So finally, dude, it's funny. Like,
is this Luke or Lincoln?
This is Lincoln.
All
Lincoln's
right.
our first.
Got it.
And so we actually had infertility issues, and I share this because I want people to know that it's okay if you're in this position. Like, if you can have if you're struggling to have a child, like, it is okay. And I remember when me and Valerie were struggling with this, like, it was almost like we didn't want to let people know, like, hey, this is what we're struggling with. Like, but like, hey, no, this is real. Like, we struggle to have children for 3.5 years. Yep. So finally, God blessed us with a child. And I remember the child C-section. So they hand me the child, and I'm tired. I've been up for 36 hours, and they hand me the child. And I've never been in a delivery room, and they hand me the child, and the child is like kind of dark. You know what I'm talking about? He's like purple. He's looking a little Asian. And my first
they don't look how they do in the movies.
Right, 100%, right? This is the guy talk right here. So my thought was like, dude, that is not my child, Like, that was the first thought that came to my mind. And in my head, I was like, you know what? We're going to talk about this later, Valerie, And so, like, like, it's a true story, It's so funny. And so Valerie gets mad. She's like, whose child is going to be? I'm like, I don't know, honey. Like, I've never been in a delivery room. Like, usually you see in a movie, it's like they're pretty and cute, know? And, like, so anyways, I always joke with that. And Valerie's like, hates that story. But so more of the story is, if they come out purple, it's because, they don't have oxygen. They're still covered in blood and so forth.
Yes, it's a brand new baby.
Yeah, it's a brand new baby, guys. Yep. Remember this. But no, the first experience was I was just tired. You know what I mean? It didn't hit home until like we came home with it. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is mine.
Yeah.
Like, and I think from there it just kind of grew and the
it's
relationship
great.
Developed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and plus, like, as a dad, like, I kind of felt useless for the first 3 months or so because they're just attached to mom, and that makes total sense. But I remember there was this moment where I had my daughter and I was laying on my couch and I was holding her up, and like up until this point she was just like doing the baby, like kind of looking around and making noises, but I looked at her and she was looking right at me and she was smiling, and so I felt like then I was like, okay, like it clicked. She's like, I like this guy. This guy is important. Like he's important. Yeah. And so like after that, and like my daughter Lennon, she's total daddy's girl, which is awesome. But it's funny, man, because like the birth stuff. First of all, there's no after witnessing this whole experience and being through it, there's no doubt in my mind that women are the stronger sex. And like it's funny because like the nurses were like, well, we're gonna give her an epidural, and we want you to leave the room. It could be traumatic for you to watch us do this. And I was like, she's getting a shot. Like I know it's a big shot, but. And so I was like, okay, and I left the room. But then I watched the birth, and I'm like, you guys wanted me to leave for this, but I'm watching the birth. Like you thought that was gonna be traumatic. Yeah. But it's all in all, it's a beautiful experience. And really like I had just when they handed me my daughter, it was just like a mixture of terror, love, fear, just everything, just 100%. All at once. And then, but it's super powerful. And I mean, it's the best thing ever in total. So how did it shift your priorities? Like what changed? What's the biggest change? Oh,
100%, man. No, I think you're so right. Like you have all these mixed feelings. So I think it just really changed my priorities because before I love to grind. Like that's just who I am. Like I love to work. Like I love sales. Like I love my business. I really do. And so I'd be okay with staying at the office till 7 or 8. And I always felt like I could do a little bit more. I was just, touching base or touching a file. And so after that, it was just like, I wanted to just come home and hang out with the little ones, And so I think that's where it changed. Like, you're like, all right, like this could wait till tomorrow. Right. So priorities were like, let's do what's important. And then after that, it's like, I don't really need to do this. Like I can come home and hang out with the family.
Yeah. So speaking to that, you're a top producing agent. You're busy, I would assume. You run a team. So how do you guys? What does Valerie do?
So my wife actually, she's a stay-home wife, and then she started her own business. She actually sells Monet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
So she's killing it, man. So it's pretty cool. Like. It's pretty awesome. She got like the free Cadillac that she got to her mom. She was able to give that, and thankfully we've been blessed that we don't need another vehicle, so we were able to gift that to her mom.
Yeah.
And dude, it's pretty cool to like just to see her crushing it in her field and doing that. And so she's a full-time mom. She runs her business, runs a team of girls, and so basically our schedule's like we touch base in the morning, feed the babies, hang out, and then I go to work. She's at home. Having really, I say 2 jobs, running her business, feeding the kids, taking care of the kids, and then we come in the afternoon and hang out,
Awesome, man. Yeah. So you guys are able to balance that out, and there's, I don't know, like the work-life balance is working.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely not perfect, like she's an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur, and so we're always like, in our nature, it's just to work and do more.
You guys are both visionaries.
Yeah, and so, dude, definitely, it's pretty cool. It's pretty inspiring to to see her grow. She actually worked with me for a little bit, and that didn't work out. I think she I think what it's cool about, like, real estate wasn't her passion, you know, and she did it more as a sacrifice to help me, which was cool.
For sure.
But it was like, hey, like, I really am not passionate about
passion's got to shine through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's when she started her business, and dude, she's crushing it. She's killing it. So it's pretty rad.
Sweet, man. Well,
man.
I saw, like, the truck you pulled up in was awesome.
Thanks, man.
I also saw on that video, which was great, saying that again, it's a cool video. Thanks are like, you do like motocross?
Yeah, dude.
What's up with that? I'm like, here's this guy in a suit, and then, like, you know, you're out like cruising, doing wheelies on him.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Like, what's the story there?
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. So I think it's a matter of just working hard, playing hard, right? And so my passion is just going out to the desert and having fun, having some. I love having adrenaline rush, right? Adrenaline junkie. So riding dirt bikes is pretty cool. We're from SoCal, so it's natural for us to go to the desert.
Did you do this as a kid?
I did, man. So my parents got my mom got remarried. So my parents got divorced. My mom got remarried when I was like 10, and she married my stepdad. His name's Carl. Super cool guy, dude. I got blessed to have a great dad. And so when I met my dad, my mom's Hispanic, and my dad is he's Japanese, Hawaiian American.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude. And so you look at him, he's like total Asian guy, right? But he's more Americanized than anything. It's like rides dirt bikes. He actually plays guitar.
Cool.
He got me my first drum set.
Yep.
And so growing up, dude, I was very Americanized. Like, he was like, hey, like, when he saw me getting into graffiti, he was like, hey, here's like a drum set. Like, you know, here's a dirt bike to kind of like distract my mind from getting out of trouble. And
that's good.
Yeah, dude.
Good parent.
Dude, great.
That's the way you do it, right?
Yeah.
Instead of don't do that, you're not allowed. You're like, check this out.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
redirection, right?
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome, dude.
So growing up, man, I had a little garage band. We never made it past the garage, but, you know, played metal and like double bass.
Oh yeah.
You know? So
absolutely.
That's why I asked you what kind of music you played.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I got into dirt bikes because he got me a dirt bike. He grew up in Idaho, and so with that, he was always doing riding dirt bikes, skiing, and all that. And so being from SoCal, got into dirt bikes, and dude, it's just a lot of fun. And what I like about dirt bikes, or what I love about the desert, is that it's really like a family sport, right? Like, I think like a lot of people don't realize that, like, I got my wife sold on it. Like, do we go as a family? We hang out as a family. We grill, we barbecue. Sure, we'll go. The guys will go ride. Right now, she's taking care of the kids, so she's staying back. But otherwise, like, she would be right next to me, riding a dirt bike right next to me, and we'd be cruising. That's
so cool,
dude. It's rad. It's just like family time, you know. And you get to unwind because real estate, it's a very demanding business.
Yeah, well, definitely. Let's talk about that a little bit. So tell me about running your own team. Like, you know, where did you start, and how did you end up?
Yeah, dude. So I actually graduated high school on a Thursday, I believe. And then by like Sunday night, I was like, dude, parents, like, I love you guys, but like, I got to be out. So I'm the only child. And my mom was very strict. So I like moved out on a Sunday night, went over to my buddy's house, and I had like $2,000 in the bank. And I'm like, all right, like, I'm good for a while. Well, when you're younger, that'll last, right? Oh,
yeah, man.
And so I'm living in my buddy's couch, and he's like, dude, you really like got to get a job and get off my couch. Like, what are you going to do? And so he was working construction. So I got into the construction business, and I did that for a couple years. And I was like, hey, like, I think I'm going to do construction. Like, it's physical work. It's cool. You're getting, at that time, you're like, hey, I'm working out. I'm getting paid to do this. That's my mentality was. And so I was doing that for a little bit. And that's kind of when the economy was kind of taking a toll, and I was living my own, and we were talking about like tattoos, and that's when I got an offer at an apprenticeship, and I was like, man, I already had like my own place. So I'm like, I can't like just do art. Like, I have to figure out what I'm going to do. So my parents were like, why don't you move back home and like, you know, go back to school and figure this out.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. Like, I'll do that. So I moved back home, which was like, nobody wants to move back home. And I only did it just because I actually got let go from my job. And I didn't get let go because I did a bad job. I got let go because I was an apprentice, and it was a family business. And of course, they were going to try to keep their family working first. And so anyways, I moved back home, went to like a community college. I took some art classes, of course. I took a real estate class because I've always wanted to do real estate secretly. Me and my dad went to a seminar called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
It's an amazing book.
Dude, right? Amazing. Right? Dude, it's a sick...
I list like anytime that guy says anything. I'm like, shut up. Trying to listen to it.
Dude, he spit some fire. And so in my back of my head, we're like, all right, man, like, this is like, I want to do real estate. Me and my dad, my dad told me, he's like, calls me Ivan. He's like, all right, Ivan, you go do real estate. Like, you become a real estate agent and I'll be the investor. And so that was in the back of my mind. I kind of wanted to do real estate. So when I went back to community college, I took some art classes and some real estate classes. And I was still kind of working part-time construction. And dude, my real estate professor was so boring. He was like very monotone. All right, guys, today turn to page 5.
Oh my gosh.
And so I failed my real estate class. I'm like, I definitely don't think I want to do real estate. Like, this is really boring. I'd fall asleep. And growing up, I told you I was an artist. And so in high school, I used to print T-shirts, kind of like this, screen printing.
Yep.
And I did it just because I love art. And so I actually started my own screen printing business. So you name it, I would print it.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you're like a jack of all trades.
Well, definitely not, man.
Good. My band needs we need some new merch, dude. I got some designs, man. Hook it up.
We used to do that, bro. It's a funny part, man. I just been a hustler. You know, I've always been like trying to sell something to make money, right? And so
for sure,
yeah, man. So I in high school I used to print T-shirts, and then out of high school did construction, and I started my own printing business, and it was cool, man. I had a lot of fun printing T-shirts.
So you are an entrepreneur in the true sense.
Yeah.
Like, you're kind of always like, all right, like, I like this, I can do this. How can I monetize it? How can I grow? How can I get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is just, you know, my whole family's entrepreneurs, right? Like, coming to America and then figuring out like what they're gonna do, and so you got to figure out how you're gonna make money. And so with that being said, like, yeah, dude, I was making T-shirts, making decent money, living at home and having fun. And we actually print a lot of T-shirts for bands. That was kind of our niche.
Yeah, look, San Diego bands, hit me up, all right? I got the guy right here.
I got the plug.
Cool, man. All right. Well, like, so there, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of agents out there. There's a lot of competition. What do you do? What do you feel like you do that's unique? Like, what do you bring to the table that you feel that nobody else does?
Yeah, definitely, man. I think the one difference is I've been doing this for, I think now it's like my 12th year. So I've been doing this for a while. And so I think really the difference is there's a lot of brand new agents right now, you know, and I think one thing right now, the market's insane. The market's very competitive right now. Like, it's a crazy seller's market. And so you have to know what you're doing. Like, this is not the time to pick like an experienced agent, because your offer's not going to get accepted. And sure, you can sell your house. You can put anything on the market and it'll sell. But like, are you really selling it for top dollar? Like, or are you leaving money on the table? And so I think more than ever, like, this is when you need an experienced agent, you know? And I'll be honest, man, like, the market is so tough right now. Like, I feel like I've had every year my business gets better, but this year, like, dude, we're doing great, but it's competitive, man. Like, we're having to put that many more offers, you know, to get offers accepted. And so I think really the difference right now is just experience, right? Like, I feel like I forget the ratio. I think there's like 34,000 real estate agents in San Diego County.
Yeah, something like, I mean, it's a lot.
It's insane, right?
It's
like,
lot.
everyone and their mom's a real estate agent.
Right.
And like, that's cool, but like, are you really
a real
Yeah, like,
real
are you
estate?
really like doing this for a living? Like, is this what you do for your profession? Is this how you feed your family? And I think that separates the men from the boys, or the women from the girls, right? Like, you can do ones and twosies, but like, you're not really getting better. And so I think one of the things is experience. That's a big one. And I think more than anything, like, what separates me from different people, like, there's a lot of good agents, right? Like, I think I was reading a stats that even though there's like 35 or 32,000 real estate agents, really only like 5,000 real estate agents do the book of business, right? And so we're top 1% here in San Diego County, which has been great. And
man, that's crazy.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I love it. I think a lot of it, just I genuinely do. I love what I do, right? And it's more than just making money. It's like, it's fun. Like, I get to meet somebody like yourself.
Yeah.
Break bread, hang out, and then I get to help you like find what you're looking for, you know. And then ultimately, like, I think at the end, like, we become buddies. I think that's the fun part. Like,
for sure, building relationships. Absolutely.
You know. Yeah, you know. And I think I heard this saying once. It's like, the person with the most friends wins, you know. And
true.
Dude, I just love making friends. Like, you know, like,
when you catch, I mean, you know, you catch more flies with honey. You ever heard that one? You know, like, I get, you know, there's this concept that I think applies to just relationships in general, but business and meeting people. And like, if you can be the type of person where like, you just decide you're going to be kind and helpful no matter what, doesn't matter how somebody else treats you.
Yeah.
Like, period. I'm like, whatever, if you bring anger and venom to the table, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But no matter how I'm treated, I'm just going to be kind because I've made a decision to be a kind person. that just aura and energy, I feel like it's like I know people like this, you know, and I've seen them, and it's like almost like, how do you do that? How do you stay so cool? But there's something that's just so like attractive about somebody like that, and I feel like people like that, they can just keep cool and calm. They're very approachable.
Cool,
and you make a lot of friends that way. And sometimes, like, even if somebody doesn't, they're not friendly to you, maybe it was just an off day, or and then, but like never burn. I mean, never burn a bridge. Totally. I always like I really try to
100%.
Just to treat people well, regardless. Now, I'm not always successful at it, but whoever has the most friends wins. I think that's great. So and that seems like it served you pretty well.
Yeah, man. And I think you nailed it right there. Like, it's so funny because what I've learned, and I've heard this, and again, I'll probably butcher this stat, but I've heard that like buying or selling real estate is as stressful as losing somebody or going through a divorce.
Oh, totally. It's emotionally labor intensive.
Yeah, physically, people emotionally, like people are just exhausted. And so, I've been yelled at, I've been cursed at, and then afterwards been apologized. And it's like,
for sure,
it's like, hey, like I get it. Like, you're just going through stress. And so I think you really, to become a good real estate agent, you have to have a thick skin. At the same time, know that it's like, hey, like, as long as you're doing your job, like, if they get upset, it's not because of you. It's just because something is happening in their life. And I think also, interesting enough, like, when you become a real estate agent, like, if you prospect, meaning like if you make calls, outbound calls, right? If you're like cold calling, like,
is that how you lead generate?
We do a little bit of that. And so if you do that, every once in a while, you'll get somebody that just will be super upset, like, blah, 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 beep you.
Does your mother know what you do?
Like, just cussing at you. You're like,
right.
Wow, man, like, you must have something else going on for you to, like, take this out on me.
Yeah, it's not about you.
Yeah, you're like, hey, man, I just called you. I didn't, like, physically do anything to you. Like, all right, bud, have a good day. Just,
right.
Yeah,
and see that for me, like, that's why I was never any good at that type of sales.
Yeah.
Because I'm too scared of rejection.
Well, you take it personal too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, and I'm like 36. It's like something I've been working on, but
Well, I think to go off what you're saying, like, the truth is, like, I think what we all have in common, we all want to be loved and liked. And so if you like,
totally.
Yeah. Right. I think that's in our nature. So if somebody's a jerk to you, you're like, dude, what's wrong with this?
Yeah.
And at first, I remember when I first started and I first got cussed out or someone was mean to me, I was like, the whole day I'd be like, dang, dude, like, am I really that person? Like, no, it's just this guy.
Of course you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, listen, man, I we're getting deep with this. I like this. I want to do a little segment. I like to call it Let's Quote It.
Yeah.
Now, you made this really easy because you have a ton of cool quotes on some of your social media. So I put a couple up here. I want to hear, kind of your take on these, because you got some good ones. So,
thanks.
I love this one. This is actually Martin Luther King Jr. quote: "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at the times of challenge and controversy." So you put that quote up. I love that quote because I feel like a true test of character is not when you're having a good day; it's when you're having a bad day.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, how does an experience like that played out? Can you give me an example of how that's played out in business for you?
Totally. Say that quote one more time.
So, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy.
Yeah. I think that for me, that quote speaks more in, like, a spiritual life, right?
Okay.
Like my spiritual journey. Like, when things are going good, it's like, oh, it's good, like, things are going good, you're making money, your relationships are good with your wife, your kids are healthy and all that. But it's like, really, I think you're going to get tested in faith or as a spiritual, or when things are not going right? Like, I think that's when you get tested. And I think that's when the real character comes out. And it's like, hey, like, how are you really? Like, do you have a solid foundation?
Yeah.
Or is it just all front, because we live in a world in Instagram where you can front anything,
Totally.
And I think I love that quote because for me, I'm a spiritual believer. And I think for me, my foundation is God. And so like, having a strong foundation in God, having a strong relationship with my Heavenly Father in heaven, like that's really where, like, it's sad to say, but like when things are going good, you're never thankful, right? But when things are bad, that's when you're like, God, please help me. I'm sorry. Totally. I'm struggling. What did I do?
And that's when you need to be thankful the most.
Yeah.
I love that you said that because I'm a spiritual man myself. And I know we were talking a little bit out there that I've been sober a long time.
Yeah,
and,
man.
You know, I struggled with alcoholism for a long time.
That is
but
awesome.
there's this guy, and he's my great grand sponsor at the time. The sponsor, he's like, you know, somebody in the program. Yeah, you get it. Anyways, but he's talking in this to this crowd once, and he's like, you know, do you want to know the difference between faith and trust? He talks about, you know, you can have faith in God or you can trust God. And the difference is you could be watching a guy push, you know, at the circus, push a wheelbarrow across a tightrope in the audience, and you could have complete faith that that guy will get to the other side because he's a professional. But if you trusted him, you would go get up there and sit in the wheelbarrow. Oof. So that's like, you know, when things are going wrong, I try to ask myself, well, look, do I trust God or don't I? If I do, nothing to worry about. Everything's going to be fine.
I love that.
And if I don't, then I got problems. But like, you know, it's a decision, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So, and that, I mean, that's helped me a lot. But when that was explained to me, put to me like that, I was like, wow, like, because, you know, faith, you might not always feel like having faith. Yeah. But if you have trust, then no matter how your day's going, I can trust that it's going to end up in my best interest.
100%, man. I like that analogy. That's really good. It's got me thinking, you know, like, do I really trust God, or do I just have faith? You know, because there's a difference. Yeah. You know,
well, and it's some days you might, and some days you might not. But it's all about the progress, right?
Of course, yeah. No one's perfect.
No one's perfect.
But yeah, no, I like that, man. That's a great analogy.
Yeah, man. Well, how about this? I'm still learning. Michelangelo said that. Yeah. That is like, what a great philosophy to have, right, in life.
Dude, 100%. I think the moment you think you know it all, I think that's when one of our core values on the team, it's grow or die.
Grow or die.
Yeah, right. Like it's, and I think
now when you say that, are you like grow or die? Like
grow or die.
Yeah, that's a new death. Hey, everybody, we're grow or die. That's like that's that new death. Yeah, right.
No, I mean, it's just truth, right? Like, I think it's like, I think one of my mentors said, he says, you're either like a tree, either you're growing or you're dying. Mm-hmm. And so it's just the truth, man. And like, either you're going to get better, either you're going to expand, whether it's physically, you're going to get better in shape, you know.
There's no, like, you're not sitting still. You're either moving towards where you want to be, or you're going back.
Yeah, well, in the moment you stay still, you're already dying. You're going backwards, right? And so, very adamant. I try to learn more things, you know, and just try to get like better every day, 1% better. Like, okay, how can I 1%? And you just got to get better.
For sure.
One of the quotes that I liked too is like, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Mm-hmm. And so that kind of goes with I'm still learning. Like, if you think about that, like, if you half-ass something, then you're going to half-ass everything else in your life.
For sure, man. I haven't heard that one. That's really good too.
Right. And so it's like how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so the moment you half-ass something, that's going to show up in different key areas of your life.
Yep.
And so,
that's good.
So try to have that strong routine, a schedule of like, all right, I need to just be focused. I need to be, have this mindset of like, I can't just take a shortcut, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Sweet, man. Well, hey, that looks like that mindset's working for you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's rad. Okay, so you talk about learning new things. Let's talk about technology a little bit.
Yeah.
So what technology do you use right now in your business? How are you using it? You doing social media? Do you do, you know, what kind of like VR and augmented reality? And, you know, I know some of the agents have property websites and like everything looks super high tech. Like what? Give me the rundown.
Yeah, man. So one of the things we try to stay pretty relevant with technology. We're trying to, you know, it's funny because before pre-COVID, like we were doing a lot of video. We were doing walkthroughs. We were doing 3D tours. And then COVID hit, and then everybody started doing that. We're like, man, we've been doing that like years before that even. Yep. Like that was the thing. Like we were already doing walk tours and like cinematic videos. And so, you know, always trying to stay on top of technology. And actually, you know, we started a podcast and trying to just stay relevant, trying to like grow and not like we were talking about, not stay stagnant, right? And so one of the things
try stuff.
Yeah, try stuff.
Try different stuff.
100%.
You know? Marketing is half trial and error.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, okay, on to the next thing, you know? So.
Yeah, and so that's what we've been trying to do, man. We've just been trying to try new things, you know? And I won't say we reinvented something because there's nothing new under the sun, right? But we're definitely trying to just stay on top of things. And like, whether it's our marketing with our photography, our videos, just trying to use the best of the best, trying to make sure we don't cheap out, because that is your brand. You know, I was just talking to one of my agents today, and He's like, hey man, we can use this photographer. And I'm like, dude, I don't think this photographer does this and that. He's like, yeah, you're probably right. I'm like, dude, that's not cheap out. Like, that is our name. Like, that is our online presence. Like, no, we're going to use this guy. Sure, he charges maybe 3-4 times more, but like, it's 100% worth it.
Totally.
You know, and so to answer your question, what are the things that we're using right now? I mean, we're using a lot of video. Video sells. In a world where people don't want to come outside and you know, look at properties, we've been just trying to like emphasize a lot of video and even just like meeting with our clients. Dude, we're selling a lot of houses just like FaceTime, you know, face tours, and it's crazy because like I was able to sell a house to a client like a couple of weeks, no, actually about a month ago. Military family, they never came once down to see the house.
Dude, no
Crazy,
way.
Right? Like,
they bought it without even seeing it.
Sight unseen, you know.
So
it was
how?
Just,
like,
so it's just all FaceTime videos, just like, hey, let me show you this house, like, you know, and it's just crazy because that's how a lot of real estate is being sold.
So they
nowadays.
sign docs, without being there. Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, they literally never came and saw this property. So
that's cool. And your office is where is Escondido?
Yeah, so it's Escondido. So we're right downtown. It's called Grand. So it'd be
it's by the Felipe. What is it?
Yeah,
Felipe's Pizza Grotto. Yeah. That place is the bomb.
Yeah, dude. So it's rad. Like we're walking distance. I have a little penny skateboard, so I'll skateboard down the street, go grab a beer, go to the bank, like just do a bunch of little errands. And so our location's super ideal for, you know, our book of our business is North County, right?
Okay.
And so I live in Escondido. I wanted to have an office in Escondido. It takes me 12 minutes from my house to get to my office, and so
nice.
It's great. You know,
I live in Escondido as well. By the way,
I didn't know that.
I do.
Rad, man. Where do you live by?
Yeah, I'm off of Sunset and Escondido Boulevard, so like we're just right down the road there.
Next time you're cruise by my house or my office. I mean,
I would love
or
to,
my office or my house too, man. We're so we got cold pressed coffee and we got beer on tap.
Yeah.
And so, have you been to Plan 9? There's a brewery called Plan 9.
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I know you're.
But you are a like the craft beer thing is big for you.
You know,
why do you not have a giant beard? And here, you know what? You need a giant beard and you need glasses like this.
Dude, I don't know. I can't grow a beard, man. It must be like the Indian in me or something, you know? I joke I'm not Indian, but like I just.
But the craft beer thing, nonetheless, you enjoy. Like,
yeah, man.
You like brewery culture. You go out to different breweries.
I do, man. I definitely have kicked that down a notch now that I have kids, you know?
For sure.
You know, it's one of those things where it's like I'm not going to breweries as much. But yeah, before that was one of my home offices, you know, go to a brewery, open up the laptop and just get some work, you know.
Now, have you ever worked drunk?
I'm sure I have, dude, 100%, you know.
Like I don't mean like with clients, I mean like trying to like task and do something.
I wouldn't say like hammered drunk, but definitely buzzed, you know, for sure, where you're just like sending an offer or whatever, you know, for sure, nice. You know.
Yeah, see, I used to, you know, drink pretty much 24/7, and I don't know, I managed to get through college with a 3.8 GPA, hammered most of the time. Oh, wow. So I don't know how I did that, but I just remember I'm thinking back like, how did I show up to class like with the amount of alcohol in my system?
Oh my gosh!
And actually like, you know, get through that. I don't know. It's crazy times. Yeah. Crazy times.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I know the brewery thing is huge. I mean, there's a bunch in North. My band has played at tons like Aztec Brewery and Vista.
Yeah.
And,
what's the name of your band?
It's called Avenue Army.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we just put out some new music on the 9th of this month, and looking forward to things opening back up, getting out some shows.
Yeah.
But
you guys that's so cool. Like, so do you guys tour? Or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're signed to a label up in LA for a little while, and
that's epic.
Yeah. So we're doing, you know, we have a local label now, but yeah, we tour, and usually either up the coast or we go east, and we've done a couple of national tours before too.
Dang, dude, I'm excited to hear your stuff, man.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, I would love to share that with you. I will definitely cruise by the office.
You on Spotify?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, right. I'll have to check out your stuff, dude.
Yeah, dude. I can send you a link too.
Please.
But yeah, and you do you play drums then? You got a drum kit when you were a kid?
I don't anymore. When I was a kid, dude, I used to jam out, have garage vans, like just get all hot and sweaty in the garage, and I love jamming out. But now I just I bought a drum set probably about 4 years ago, and I just sat in the corner. I was just busy working, building the business. But it's cool, man. I have this beautiful Les Paul 1969 standard. It's a sunburst.
Now you're talking my language, baby.
Dude, my dad got that. So interesting enough, my dad, like I mentioned, got me into guitars and music and everything. And I never played guitar. I was always the drummer. And so
drums are primal, though.
Yeah.
I love playing something primal about it.
So. Yeah. So he got that guitar, and his roommate couldn't pay rent, so he got him that guitar. He's like, hey, this is my share of rent because I can't pay rent. And so growing up, man, when I had a band, all my people would come over and be like, dude, this is the sickest guitar ever. And they'd be ripping on it. And I'd have like a $300 cheap drum set, until I saved up enough money to buy a better set. But yeah, I'm hoping one of my boys picks it up, man. We have acoustic guitar right there in our living room.
For sure.
And so
even if they don't do it, it's good for brains. Like kids that play musical instruments, kids that speak more than one language. I mean, that pays dividends later on in life and other skills too.
Yeah. And I feel one thing about music, it's like you can't force it upon kids, right? And so like the fact that we have a guitar, Lincoln will go over there and like strum it and like, it just hits the strings, and I'm like, hey, mijo, like if you want to play, it's there, let me know.
For sure.
So hoping when he gets older, he'll want to pick up the guitar.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see. And then maybe I can start jamming out with my little boy.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. You can have like the family band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Have you seen that video? You might get a kick out of this. There's one on Instagram. It's like the heavy metal baby. Have you seen it?
I think I've seen like memes that have the heavy metal baby, but no, I haven't. Should I check it out?
Yeah, you check it out. You get a kick of it.
The heavy metal baby.
Yeah, it's basically this.
Tony, write that one down for me. The heavy metal baby.
Yeah,
I love that, man. All right, brother. Well, but we'll do the closing segment. But before we go, you think about real estate now. You think about technology now. Looking 20, like how do you think tech is gonna keep changing things? Do you think the real estate agent will be obsolete someday? Do you think the role of what you guys do is gonna change? What's it gonna look like in 20 years?
Dude, that'll be interesting, right? Like I know even when my parents bought a house and the way I'm selling real estate, I remember when my parents bought a house, we went to a broker's office and, it was black and white piece of paper. We picked out like 5 homes on a piece of paper. And we're like, yep, we want to see that one, that one, and that one. And we hopped in his car and he had a map and we're like driving around.
A map. Remember
bro.
MapQuest?
Remember
MapQuest?
Yeah, oh yeah. No, he had what do they call those maps? He had like an actual map.
Oh, he had a fold out like an Ayn Rand
like
map.
Yeah,
dude.
He's got a map and we're driving around town like looking at houses and black and white. Like this, there was only one little picture, black and white. And dude, that's how my parents bought a house. And so, dude, it's crazy, right? Like crazy. Where now everybody's got one of these, and people know, like, dude, half the time people know more about the house than I do. Like, they already know what school district. They already know the last time it sold.
Yeah,
They've
you're
seen
just
the
brokering the info.
Yeah,
you're not really like.
I'll be honest. Most of the time I'm just like opening up the door because everything's accessible online, right? And so
it's about you and your personality and your integrity. You mentioned integrity and professionalism. I saw that. I know
100%.
you're big on that. So I mean, that's really what does it then.
Well, and I think that's what it like. People now that buy real estate, people are going to buy real estate with a real estate agent. Someone they like. First of all, it's like there's thousands real estate agents. So it's like a matter of like, oh, I like that guy. Like I connect with that guy. I want to use him.
Yep.
2, he's knowledgeable. So he clearly kills it. He sells a lot of homes. He has the experience. And that's really what we're doing. Like, it's not necessarily like, we're back in the day, it was like, oh, you're just a real estate agent. Now they don't really need you, unfortunately. Right. And so I say that because I feel like as a physical trainer, like, can you get online coaching? Absolutely. You can get a workout plan, a meal plan, but physical trainers will still exist because people still like the face-to-face interaction. People like to communicate. People want a relationship. So I don't think our job will ever go obsolete. I think the only thing that will change, it's going to be more of like, do I like this guy? Do I connect with this guy?
Yeah.
And does he know what he's doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be, and there's going to be some people that are like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm just super busy. Like, I don't necessarily want to be like buddies with you. I just want to do an Amazon, like click buy, read disclosures, look at the houses, like go through VR, look through the property. Cool, let's buy it.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
I think that'll happen. I think that'll be in our time where people are just literally going to buy stuff online. And there'll be some people that'll be like, you know what? Like, Ivan, I like you. Can you just go out and kind of like I mentioned that story. Can you go preview it for me? Like, seems like you know what you're doing. I trust you. You're a trustworthy guy. Can you go tour it for me? Okay, let's go ahead and put an offer.
So then would you agree that, the savvy realtor is going to use tech in a way to nurture and help them build more of those solid relationships.
Yeah.
Because there's like, there's the old school kind of like, no, this is a person-to-person thing. And then there's all this new school, tech and clicking and, buying everything online.
100%.
So, yeah, like the balance between that, it seems like that would be maybe kind of like a sweet spot.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a mixture of both, right? Like, I think you're going to have some people that actually want to physically see it, hold it, smell it, touch it. And then you're going to have the other part that says, like, hey, like, as long as the reports, disclosures, home inspections check out, like, I'll buy it. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting. I think some people want the experience of test driving the car, and then I think some people want the simplicity of, like, dude, I know that car is rad. Like, just buy the car.
Yep. It's all about them.
Yeah. So I think it'll be just a mixture of, like, what you want and then tailoring it, the style and that flavor for them.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Right on, brother. All right. Well, listen, we're gonna close it out with a little segment here called "Finish the Sentence." All right. These are kind of rapid fire. Just gonna allow everybody to get to know you a little bit better. Yeah. So answer however you'd like. But here we go. If I wasn't a real estate agent, I would be
an artist.
All right. Flat out. A graffiti artist or like no, I'm just kidding. All right.
I probably would be a graffiti artist, to be honest with you, man. I feel like some of the. Dude, I have this sick artist that came over. Like, there's like Retina, Mac. There's some really cool artists that I love that like have used their graffiti background and now get paid a lot of money, like Louis Vuitton, and they're doing art for them.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I feel like definitely 100% would be an artist.
Sweet, love it. All right, well, how about this? I'm happiest when I am
with my family.
Righteous, love it. My favorite book is
Think and Grow Rich.
Is that your favorite book?
Yeah, and then the other one I just Can't Hurt Me from David Goggins.
Dude, that's Tony's nodding his head with the thumbs up over there.
Fire.
Did you watch what is his name? Tom Bilyeu, or I don't know how
yeah,
you
I know
pronounce
what you're talking about.
Did you watch that interview with David Goggins?
No, I haven't. Now I want to watch it.
Yeah, it's really good. That guy is crazy.
Oh, dude.
Like just listening to him talk.
Did you hear his book on Audible?
No.
Oh, bro. So it's life-changing. Like, do it right now. Like, so it's Can't Hurt Me on Audible from David Goggins. And so it's rad is you have somebody, like, reading the book, and at the end of the chapter, it's him and the guy that's narrating the book. And it's basically just, like, he'll explain the chapter.
He'll recap it. That's great.
Bro, fire. It's like a podcast.
Yeah.
So sick.
Yeah.
You checked it out?
I'm listening to it right now.
Oh,
Are
dude.
you?
Yeah, 3 hours left.
Oh, dude, it was during quarantine, and I finished it in like 2 days. I'm like, my wife's like, "What are you doing? You gonna hang out with us?" I'm like, "This book's fire." On the grass pad.
Yeah, and Think and Grow Rich. I mean, that's one of those like pillar staple.
100%.
Have you ever read Psycho-Cybernetics?
No.
Dude, that one is really, really good.
You have to remind me after the show.
Psycho-Cybernetics. I will. I'll send you a link to it. You really like that. It's a little more technical than Think and Grow Rich, but it's very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a great one. Okay, cool. The best place to have dinner in North County is.
Ooh, dude, I love Ventana.
Ventana. Tell me about it. I've never been. Tell me about it.
So it's a little bougie.
We love that word down here.
Right?
It's bougie.
It's a little bougie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not who I am, but I like it just for date night for me and my wife. Like, it's a place where we get to dress up a little bit nicer. And
where is it?
It's in Escondido. It's above Lexus. Okay. You got a beautiful view of Escondido. It's kind of like a 5-course meal, and so it's nice. We don't go there. Well, before the pandemic, we would go often, but now, when the pandemic, it was kind of closed.
For sure.
We were like, can you eat? Can you not eat? And so, anyways, I love it because they have fire cocktails. The food is phenomenal, and when I go there, it's more than just like a good place to get food. It's just me and my wife.
Yep.
So for me, it's an experience of like, hey, I'm going there with my wife. Otherwise, I really like, is it Burger Bench or Bench Burger? Bench Burger.
Yeah, that place is legit.
Bro, it's
Burger
fire.
Bench.
Yeah.
I've been there. Yeah, super good.
Yeah, just good burger, good beer, and like good, tater tots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Right on. All right. How about my favorite hangout spot is?
Oh, shoot. That's a tough one. Because of COVID, I don't feel like I've been good. I'd say the desert.
The desert.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. It's just a good place to hang out with friends and family members.
Mm-hmm.
Like we go out on a weekend, we campfire. We hang around the fire.
And I know you're an outdoors guy.
Yeah, dude, I love.
You do like to be in the outdoors.
I love grilling. I love starting a fire. Yeah. I love riding my dirt bike. So yeah, the desert's the favorite hangout spot for sure.
Cool. The best drink in the world is
apple juice.
Apple juice. You see how fast he answered that?
Apple juice.
What? So I mean, has it just always been?
I laugh because, dude, apple juice is just good. It's just, I think it's good memories, you know. And I think growing up,
it does. It has the childhood, like,
dude. It's
right?
just totally childhood.
Yeah.
My mom was like super stingy with the apple juice, so she would like water it down. And I remember like, she's a single mom growing up, so she would water down.
I've done that with my kid with milk before, like when we were about to run out.
Oh, I still do it to this day. I still water down his apple juice.
Tony, have you done
milk.
that? Tony's got a 3-year-old.
Yeah. So. Dude, I still do it. And we got plenty of milk, but I still water it down because I'm like, this thing's got to last, bro. Like, otherwise, we're going through a gallon a day. You know, like this little homie likes those chocolate milk and milk, you know?
Yep. So they go through it quick.
Yeah.
Right on. On the weekends, you can find me.
Probably, I'd say with a family or working, you know, work Saturdays and I take Sundays off for the family.
Yeah. Take a Sabbath.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so huge. I've been trying to do that lately too, on like it's Sundays, especially because I meet my sponsors on Sunday. I, do like inventorying and journaling and stuff like that, but just like not engaging in my phone and like, it can wait. Like that, and like we're so inundated now with technology. It's like, dude, I texted you like 10 minutes ago and you didn't get back to me. Yeah, it's a choice for me to get back to you though. Like I've got a life too, Yeah. Right on. I love that. All right. Let's see. The craziest thing one of my clients has ever asked me to do for them was.
Oh, shoot. The craziest things one of my clients has ever asked me to do. I don't know, man. I wish I had like a fire story right now where I could tell you that. Like, I'm sure it'll like, as I'm leaving, I'm like, oh, I should have said that. I can't think of a craziest story that they've asked me to do. I can tell you one of the craziest things I've seen in real estate. So Let's hear it. I'll tell you that. We were doing a flip, and so the people that lived there, they used to be heavy chain smokers, man, smoking cigarettes just like in their house. And then their kid was unfortunately a druggie, and so finally they kind of moved out of the property. I mean, dude, the place just smelled like cigarette smoke, and there was like tar of cigarette smoke up on top. And I remember like, we're flipping it. So for people that don't know what flipping is, pretty simple. We're remodeling it and we're going to sell it for a higher price, for a profit. And so we're up there and I'm like, I'm going to go check up on it and see how the work is coming along. And so we pulled up to, I pulled up to the house and there's no contractors there. So I'm like, all right, cool. Open up the lockbox, open the door. And as soon as I open the door, I hear like people like, moving. You're like, hello. And so I'm like, kind of come around the corner, like, all right, dude, like, hello, who's here? There's no cars in the front driveway, And so, dude, in there is a homeless couple doing the deed, going to tent. Yeah, bro. I'm like, scarred for life, I'm like,
like, dude, how much did you see?
Oh, like, dude, so put it this way. Like, there was strawberries right there. They had a couple tall boys. They were smoking cigarettes. Like, God. Dude, like, literally... You see them pulling up pants, and they jump out the window. I saw a full butt crack and everything. Like, this guy jumped out of the window. I'm just like, and all like, hey, what are you guys doing? Get the hell out of here, And they like take off on their bikes, and dude, I didn't know any better, so I like follow them. I'm like on the phone with the cops, like, hey, there's some guys broke into my house. Crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so
that's one of the better ones I've heard.
Yeah, man.
I gotta say,
you see all kinds of different things in real estate for sure.
Man, that's crazy.
So vacant homes, homeless people will break into them.
Speaking of that experience, the next question is: when I get frustrated, I calm myself by.
Oh, dang! Like dumbass idiot,
Yeah, but how do you calm yourself when you get frustrated?
Oh, I thought you were like, what you tell yourself. How do I calm myself?
Yeah.
I love the gym,
So get some exercise.
Yeah,
get the endorphins going.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Cool. Okay.
Push some weight. Yeah.
All right. How about this one? I never told anyone that I.
Oh, definitely not going to say that one then. then I wouldn't be. I can't answer that question.
All right. Fair enough. We had to try.
Yeah.
My favorite thrill-seeking activity is.
Oh, dude, either riding a dirt bike or hopping in my. I have a Can-Am, so it's basically like an off-road buggy.
Okay, so yeah, I think does Nathan do that? Does Nathan do that too?
Oh yeah, he has a buggy, an off-road buggy.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it before.
It's the most fun you can have.
That's a cool experience, huh?
Oh, it's rad. Like you feel almost invincible, which is bad because you have a roll cage and you're like 5-point harness and you're like, dude, anything goes. And so you're just like, when you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Of course.
So if you rolled it, like, how hurt would you get? Like,
it would be really hard to get hurt. Like I've rolled my car before, or just tipped it on the side. But like if you rolled it, it'd be pretty hard to get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, lastly here, then I want people to remember me as somebody who
loves God.
Loves God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was a follower and loves God. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. I think my sole purpose besides selling real estate and being that is just being a believer, right? And I think for me, it's just someone that did his good work. Mm-hmm. And for me, my passion is just like one of the things that we do. We build homes for people out in Baja. I love ministering, and I think all of us were put on this earth to help people. Like I've done a lot of things that have brought me pleasure in life, but when I have the most fun personally for me is when I'm helping somebody.
That's huge, man.
Like when I'm helping somebody, like I'll be out like sweaty, breaking my back, building a house, like doing something for something, like helping somebody and that really needs help. And that's when I'm the happiest. And I'm like, how is it that this brings me so much joy? Like, this is so weird. I'm like literally doing this for free. I'm not getting paid. Like I'm literally spending money to do this, but that's when I'm the happiest. And so
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, man.
It's quality. All right. Well, listen, man, thanks so much for being on the show. Ivan Cazarez. Now you do what? Is it REO, short sale, investing, buyers, sellers, North County, all of San Diego County? Where can people get a hold of you? Where can we find you? Where can we learn more?
Yeah, man. So we're in the real estate business. Any real estate needs, we can cover you. You can find us on Instagram, Ivan Sells Real Estate.
Okay.
Find me on Facebook, Ivan Cazarez. Also, my Facebook there is Ivan Sells Real Estate. And then our website is thetimeteam.net. And otherwise, just shoot me a ring, 760-877-6709. Shoot me a text if I don't answer. And I try to pride myself on getting back to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
I love that. It's 877-6709.
Dang, great memory.
Well, check, because here's why I remember it.
Okay.
Because I think you should put that, we should recreate the song 867-5309. Uh-huh. You put what was 8677, what is it again?
6709.
8677
6709.
6709. Oh, you know how the song goes.
Yeah.
But we could plug that in. I think that would be
I
a
like
good
it, man. Yeah,
I'll play guitar for you.
Oh, man.
You can play drums. Awesome, brother. Thanks so much for being
thanks,
here.
man.
All right. Well, you heard it from Mr. Ivan here. You guys get a hold of him in North County or anywhere in San Diego County, really, if you have a real estate need. And thanks for checking out the What's Next podcast. We will see you next time. Tony, let's go, baby.
Woo!
Sit down with real estate agents and talk about how the industry is changing, thriving with technology. We look at strategy. We love it. And welcome to What's Next.